back again. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Cashmere, Matter from Hopes and Sun. Back again with another video, with another back at it again. All about that action life. Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? So look, this one is called Understanding the Friend Zone and Why It's Not Your Fault. We're gonna dive right into this. This ain't gonna be really long at all. Probably like 5 minutes is about all we're gonna cut into this. Cause I want y'all to understand about how you being in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned for new things that we talk about. I'm gonna keep talking about this because it makes sense. I'm trying to give you some little advice before you get your heart broken. We all been there. Dang it. We all been there. You know what I'm saying? So let's say something that might mess with your head or in a good way. If you're weak, friend zone, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you unattractive. It definitely doesn't mean you did something wrong at all. In fact, the friend zone isn't even what most people even think it is. You know what I mean? Because you have to be like you stuck in this box and things be a little different. But it ain't what you think it is in a nutshell. The internet would tell you friend zone is a punishment. Be more confident, stop being nice, it's toxic, it's all this, but there's nothing nobody really gonna admit. The friend zone isn't a trap you feel like, it's a decision someone has made about you, and it's making you feel that way. And feelings don't follow rules, you feel me? So you could do everything right, say the right things, and still get friend zone. Be supportive and be loyal and be present. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, friend zone shouldn't affect the way you try to move forward in a relationship, but it does. And for someone who feel like they ain't, still not feel romantically attractive, that doesn't make you less of a person. It just makes you a human being. What actually do happen? Here's what's really going on behind the ideology behind friend zone. Now, attraction is emotion. Emotion becomes attachment. Psychologists and psychological and timing based it. It's not logical. It's just physical, emotionally detached with you. Just imagine if you have somebody you knew. I know you grew up with somebody who you feel wasn't wasn't here. And I don't mean like that. I just mean we here on Earth, we humans, but that person just. That's how it feels sometimes. It's not because you want somebody to feel that way. Just that's how it is. You know what I mean? And I don't know why you like that. It's just like that. Someone can like your personality and feel safe with you, that you trust deeply, but not feel romantically chemistry. You don't have no romantic chemistry. And chemistry isn't something you earn. It's something that you either show up or it doesn't show up. Think about it. You probably think that you meet great people in your life, very good people and attractive people, that you're going to be having good thoughts and good patterns. But that's not how it goes when you're trying to, up on yourself and try to be different. Just because you might not feel attracted to that person, don't mean you should feel the spark. Sometimes people don't feel the spark, and you weren't attacking them, and you weren't judging them. You just didn't feel it. But same thing here. You know what I mean? That part that hurts the most. What makes friend zone painful is rejection. And at the end of the day, it's hope that comes without clarity. It's being close to someone, caring about somebody, talking to somebody, being there for someone all the time, and then imagining what ifs. Who wanna keep reimagining what if somebody could be in a friend zone. It don't make sense. Why they already emotionally somewhere else. I was just talking about, and that's when people start blaming themselves. Man, if I changed, if I waited longer, if I said something differently. But listen closely, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. Ain't got nothing to do with your vision. Don't got nothing to do with how you think. But listen closely. You cannot negotiate desire. You can't negotiate desire. The big misunderstanding. A lot of people think that friend zone happens because they were too nice. That's not true, bro. Being kind don't block attractiveness. Being respectful don't kill the chemistry. What actually happens is this: you showed up, being often, having good judgment skills. You had that authenticity, and the other person categorized that energy as platonic. Not because you failed, but because they know how to treat things how it's supposed to be like called emotionally without clarity. It's being close to someone, caring about somebody, talking to somebody, being there for someone all the time, and then imagining what ifs. You know, like who wanna keep him who wanna keep reimagining what if somebody could be like in a friend zone. You know, it don't make sense. Like why they already emotionally somewhere else. Like I was just talking about, and that's when people start blaming themselves. Like, man, if I changed, if I waited longer, if I said something differently. But listen closely, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with your vision. Don't got nothing to do with how you think. But listen closely. You cannot negotiate desire. You can't negotiate desire. The big misunderstanding. A lot of people think that friend zone happens because they were too nice. That's not true, bro. Being like kind don't block attractiveness. Being respectful don't kill the chemistry. What actually happens is this: you showed up off like being often like having like good judgment skills. You had that authenticity, and the other person categorized that energy as platonic. Not because you failed, but because they know how to treat things how it's supposed to be like called emotionally detached, emotionally experienced. They emotionally experienced you. Ain't that messed up? It's messed up. You didn't lose, bro. You just was playing a different game than they was playing. So you didn't really lose. It's in their own brain about how they categorize you, and they put you in that category about who they thought you was. You feel me? The real power move comes where here's the part that changes everything, right? The friend zone exists if you stay where you at, right? You're not wanting it to be you ain't want it romantically. You're not obligated to remain in dynamic that hurts you. Walking away doesn't mean you're bothered or bitter. It just means you respect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Choosing a distance between manipulation and self-preservation is two different things, bro. And here's the wild part you maybe don't understand. The moment you start begging for validation, you regain your power. So remember, stop begging these women to be in your corner. Stop begging for attention. Stop begging to get, hey, why she don't like me, bro? Why I'm being rejected all the time, bro? I don't understand this. I'm a cool cat. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Women don't care about none of that, bro. Trust me, bro. And if you too full of yourself, they're gonna think you what? Zesty. They're gonna think you zesty, bro. They're gonna think you too care much about yourself, manicures, pedicures, all that. They're gonna think you like, too zesty. You know what I mean? That's what they're gonna think about you. Real talk. Self-worth though. Your viability or your vile. Wow, I'm saying the word. Wow. Wait. Your value to somebody doesn't come from whether somebody chooses you. Your value comes from knowing you don't need to be choosing to be complete. Tongue twister, man. It's a tongue twister. Sometimes the lesson itself hurts me sometimes. But how do I get them to like me? It's like, why am I like shrinking myself for someone who don't really care about me, or somebody who already decided or what they thought about me? Go back to what we talk about. If you don't know these things, I'm put timestamps below them. You can go back. You don't have to listen to all of it. Pick the key things so you can make a decision for yourself based on yourself. Don't let nobody decide. But when people do that and they like pick and decide friend zone you, it's because they already made a decision about you, bro. That's the only reason why, man. That's the only reason why. Have you ever been friend zoned before in your life? Let's break it down. Here's the clarity. You weren't rejected, bro. You weren't rejected. You were just misled. You had bad energy, they had bad energy, and the chemistry wasn't there. And then alignment matters. That matters the most because it's the effort when something aligns and comes together, just like how the earth and the sun, everything gotta align together for something to click. It's like a lighter click. You need to flick that flint, hold it down, flick the flint, and you get fire, right? So it's the same thing. If ain't no fire in it, then it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work out. You know what I mean? And so I'm about to be out, y'all. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be like a 5-minute video. It turned into a 10-minute video. It is what it is. You feel me? You catch me out here rambling sometimes. I'm just telling the truth, bro. If this hits you, please share it with somebody who needs to hear it. And remember that right connection doesn't make you question your worth. Till the next time. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, puff, pass it. I'm all about that action, like woo, woo, hee, hee. Michael Jackson, your boy Cashmere Matic is out.